Welcome to another edition of Popcorn Bucket List. This is the monthly show, the preview show, the one that started it all.
Started it all.
Yeah. But hey, it is the month of May. It's May
the 4th.
We're recording this on Star Wars Day.
That's right.
So I've fully gone into it. Star Wars hat. Do you even have?
Nope. I actually I have my Metallica.
No, we don't need that. We don't need
my Metallica Vikings T-shirt.
Right.
So it's kind of Star Warsy.
But while we got you here,
yeah.
Right? You present a challenge each time.
I do.
At these monthly preview shows.
Yep.
So this is the part of the show where I just keep the camera on him and he tells me who won or not. But before we get into the challenge, I am adding a rule to all those who are watching, who are listening. If you want to be eligible for answering Ryan's challenge, you must post your answer in the YouTube video comment section. It is purely so it's easier for us to find the winner.
Yes.
Because we have like 3 different people share these videos on like multiple different platforms. I'm not going to look through everything to find your answer. I'm sorry. Yep. I got too much stuff I got to do. So
go back to the source.
Go to the source on the YouTube video comment section. That's the only place you're eligible to answer Ryan's challenge. With that, Ryan, take it away.
Perfect. We've given away popcorn buckets. We've given away tickets. Given out a lot. So, for the next challenge, what franchise has the most films associated with it? So, like Fast and the Furious, they're like at 9. Star Wars, I think, is at 9. So just, kind of, might have to look it up, but see what franchise. First, I want you to think what franchise has the most films with it, and then actually go out and find it. And first person to comment will you'll win your prize, and we'll get a hold of you and set it up. So thank you, Nick. We're awake. I'm done. Yep.
Yep. Riveting challenge there, folks. Good luck to all. Sounds like a good one.
Yeah.
My favorite challenge yet so far.
Yeah. You heard it all? Awesome.
Yeah, all of it.
Good.
But we got more than one challenge here this week. In years past, when we started off this show, we would do the preview. We would talk about what we thought would be the best reviewed movie of the month, the best box office movie of the month. May is part of the summer month movie season. Mm-hmm. Huge box office time period for movies. So we've decided to reinstate the box office challenge. It's time for the box office battle 2021. It is time. We are going to, once we're done with the preview, we're going to each pick our own, what we think is going to be the #1 box office winner of each month. We're going to be doing this for 4 months. There's 4 months in summer movie season: May, June, July, and August.
Yep.
I don't know if we're going to actually do a punishment thing or whatever, or we are going to keep score this time. Mm-hmm. We didn't keep score.
I won last time.
Well, no, we didn't keep score, so we don't know who won.
Check the vid.
It was a draw, if anything.
No.
We didn't keep score. It was a fun thing, Ryan. It was a fun thing.
Yep.
Have fun with it, Ryan.
I did have fun because I was winning. And it was great.
You don't have any evidence of that. But we're gonna keep score. We're just gonna kind of keep track of some of the biggest movie makers of the summer 2021. But we're not gonna pick them right now because you need to know what to even look for. What
options
right
are?
Yeah. What are the options? So let's get into the preview, the portion part of the show. As we look at May here, May 7th is the opening weekend for the month of May. Kind of the big weekend, has some of the most options that we can see here. One of the films coming out on May 7th is Here Today. This is a Billy Crystal and Tiffany Haddish-led comedy movie, also directed and written by Billy Crystal, comedy legend. Billy Crystal's character is an aging comedy writer, and he befriends an unlikely ally in Tiffany Haddish, who kind of agrees to help him finish some of his last comedic works. He's aging. He noticed his brain is kind of deteriorating. He's remembering less and less, and he thinks he's got one last something. He's not even sure what, but there's something, one last thing he needs to get out there before he forgets it. So Tiffany Haddish kind of helps him out with that. Obviously, Billy Crystal, legend in the comedy world. So, and I think Tiffany Haddish is stars rising as well. So hopefully that'll be pretty fun.
All right.
Also coming out that same weekend, The Human Factor. This is a documentary about some of the fighting that has happened in the Middle East and the displacement of kids in the area. But yeah, that will be a theater release, I believe. So be sure to look for that. Also coming out that same weekend, ooh, this could be a big one right here. Wrath of Man. Jason Statham's coming back, baby.
Interesting.
Yep. It is a Guy Ritchie directed movie. He is known as a big action movie director. Jason Statham. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. He's known as a big action movie guy. Seems like this is a pretty good pairing.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see this. I like a lot of Guy Ritchie films. I like Jason Statham. I think it's going to be fun. I wouldn't say it's going to be, wow, this is the greatest movie ever. But it's going to be a fun action adventure. Blow some stuff up, shoot some people, fun.
A lot of shooting.
A lot of shooting.
You can tell in this trailer. A lot of shooting.
Yep.
Also coming out, another documentary, this one produced by Amazon Prime. It is The Boy from Medellin. This, I believe, takes place in South America. It basically shows, it all takes place during a week where the documentary crew follows this boy who is part of a musical group, and it kind of just shows that week leading up to one of his biggest performances at that time. So it just kind of shows the struggles, the process, that sort of fun stuff. Seems like more if you're into like South American music, that sort of thing. Okay. They've got some pretty interesting styles down there. If you're kind of into that, would be something to check out as well.
All right.
And then finally coming out that weekend is the Netflix movie Monster. Now this actually was released 3 years ago, I believe, in 2018. It was kind of an indie film, but it is now just getting its big wide release here on Netflix. So be sure to check out that trailer as well. But Netflix is not done, as the next Wednesday on May 12th is the movie Oxygen. Now this is a Netflix sci-fi thriller, so a little bit scarier. You know, might want to hold your loved ones a little bit closer on this one.
I like scary sci-fi movies.
Curl up in the blanket. I'm not a very big scary guy, but I do love sci-fi. So this might be that perfect blend of positive and negative that'll give me the yin and yang that I need from this movie.
Maybe it'll push you a little more into that horror, scary side. And
I don't like trying new things. But for those of you who are interested, it is basically about a movie about a woman who wakes up in a cryogenic, like airtight chamber, has no memory how she got there, and basically has to find her way out before she runs out of air. You know,
Ooh.
it's sealed tight.
Yeah.
You know, you lose air in that.
But that was an airtight script too. That's pretty good.
Coming out May 14th, one of the bigger ones. This is one of the more anticipated ones, I think. Spiral, the book from Saw. It is the next movie in the Saw universe, starring Chris Rock. I want to say, did he write this one too?
Yeah,
or did he produce it?
From what I heard, like when they were talking, either he got approached by like the Saw people, or he approached them and said, "Hey, I want to make this with you." And then it was like, "Oh, really? Yeah, we'd like to have you too." And they both worked on it. Whether it's writing, I don't know, but like I know they worked on it together. And that was one of the big things that like he's like, "Yeah, I want to come back." Like, when's the last time he was in anything?
He was in top 5 in this movie he wrote and directed, like, how many years ago? But
yeah,
I would like to say on the record here, I sort of got pretty close to predicting this movie's existence.
Yeah.
I can't remember how many years ago it was, about 3 or 4 years ago, whenever A Quiet Place came out.
Okay.
The first A Quiet Place, something we'll talk about a little bit more later on. But shortly after that, it was seeming like it was getting really good reviews. It was written and directed by John Krasinski, known more for his comedy.
Yep.
At this point, Jordan Peele had already won an Oscar for writing for his horror movie.
For Get Out.
So I made some sort of tweet. I was saying, like, so Jordan Peele, comedy writer, got an Oscar for writing a horror movie. John Krasinski is getting great reviews for his horror movie. I'm calling it. Will Ferrell's going to direct a Saw movie or something like that.
Yeah. I
got the right movie franchise, but wrong SNL alumni character.
Yep, wrong character.
I was so close. I was like off by a generation
Yeah.
of SNL cast members.
Well, and him in the trailer, it's Chris Rock, but it's Chris Rock like I haven't seen him in almost anything.
Yeah.
So I'm super pumped. I think it's gonna be great.
Also coming out that same weekend, Those Who Wish Me Dead. This is an Angelina Jolie movie. Boy, did that trailer look bonkers, man.
I don't even know what's going on in this movie.
So, Angelina Jolie is like a firefighter who like fights forest fires.
Yeah.
Something happened in her past. I guess she blames herself or something like that.
Yeah.
So now she's kind of cutting herself off from the rest of the world. I think she's in like one of those towers where like people are like full time like on the lookout. So the second like a wildfire starts or something like that,
They're there.
like, not just them. Like they're not gonna. They tell people, like, "Hey, come over here." No, they don't. They don't just one man it.
Okay.
No, I don't think.
There's no garden hose outside.
I don't think that's how that works.
Okay. We'll fact check it.
I don't.
We'll fact check
Jerry, can you get on that, please?
Yeah.
Intern Jerry over there.
Yeah.
We're stealing that bit.
I'm running low on Mountain Dew, so
we're stealing that bit from 50/50, our other show on this channel. They started that, so shout out to them.
We actually have a real intern, so.
Well, yeah, we stole it and then we bumped it up a little bit. We
Yeah.
improved it, but
Yeah.
I didn't want to brag.
Yeah.
Back to the movie. We haven't even got to the crazy part of this movie yet.
What's going on with this movie? There's a fire and there's a kid.
Yes, yeah, a fire does start, but at one point she like finds a kid who's running. She like runs him down, is like, "I'm not gonna hurt you" or whatever. Turns out there's like some government agents that are after this kid because they killed like his parents or something like that.
Yeah.
And now they're after the kid, and now because Angelina Jolie knows, they're after her.
And the government agent guy is the guy from Warm Bodies.
I think he's one of the, and then Tyler Perry I think is another one.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, there's wildfires all around him, fire everywhere. No smoke though. It's weird. You don't see any smoke in the trailer, but there's fire everywhere. And they're running around. She's got her dress on and pulling the kid.
I don't think
and
she's
then
got
the
a dress
government guy
on.
comes with the guns.
I don't think she's got a dress on.
Okay,
she's got like khakis.
professional lady clothing.
She's just wearing like khakis, dude.
Not firefighting apparel.
Well, yeah, because she didn't wake up that morning thinking she was gonna have to fight a fire single-handedly.
But if you're stationed out in this castle out in the
she's
middle
just
of
the
nowhere,
warning guy.
You gotta be ready. I just have a lot of questions. I don't know what's going on with this movie.
Well, maybe I have to see it to answer them.
Yes.
The craziness makes me want to see it.
Yeah.
Honestly. But also coming out that same weekend is The Woman in the Window. This is a Netflix movie once again. We mentioned before, Netflix is trying to basically release like one movie per week, I think at least, is kind of their goal. I don't know how they're doing with that, but it sounds like they're doing pretty good. But it also stars Amy Adams. I gotta be honest, I wasn't the biggest fan of her, I think, when everyone else started to be, but slowly and surely she's becoming one of my favorite actresses, so we'll have to see how that turns out. And then on May 21st, Army of the Dead. Now this is interesting. HBO has done this in the past. I think this is one of the first time Netflix has tried this. This will be a theater Netflix side-by-side release.
Let's go.
This is a Zack Snyder movie about a group attempting a Las Vegas robbery. But what is going on in Las Vegas? Oh, just the zombie apocalypse.
It's the Army of Darkness.
It's the army, man.
Is this related to
It's the Army of the
like
Dead.
Ash and all those movies?
It might be.
I hope so.
I think there's like sequels planned in this, but
Okay,
I don't know if it's like connected.
And
or not.
I haven't seen the trailer, so I don't know. But Bruce Campbell's not in it, is he?
No.
Okay.
This one stars Dave Bautista from Guardians of the Galaxy
okay.
fame.
Yep.
But finally, the last weekend of May 28th, we got a couple big ones here as well. These might be some of the big first, Army of the Dead. And then these carrying into these two, I think, are the best like summer movies that we see normally.
Yep.
One of them being Cruella. This is the Disney live-action telling of the villain Cruella, her origin story, starring Emma Stone. This will be a movie theater Disney Plus side-by-side release. I love Emma Stone. Gotta be honest. The more and more I watch this trailer, I start laughing more and more at it.
It's all right. It's Disney.
I don't. It feels bad saying that, but there's just the first time I saw, I was like, okay, looks like they might be going for a Joker thing. Like we should take this character more seriously. You know,
Yeah.
maybe it's got a troubled past or something like that. And the more and more I saw, I'm just like, this just seems silly.
Yeah,
what are we doing?
I'm not gonna lie. I saw a trailer for it, and it didn't. I'm gonna see it because obviously,
Yeah.
Luke
Emma Stone
is gonna want to watch it. Luke, yeah, Emma Stone. It is Disney. It's gonna be some quality.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's hot garbage or just normal garbage, that's fine.
Is it a raging dumpster fire or just kind of
no.
like a smoldering one kind of thing?
Although I did watch 101 and 102 Dalmatians like a couple of months ago.
The cartoons or the live action?
Cartoons.
Okay.
The cartoons. Those were really old.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's weird seeing like a real person and like even the way they animated them was interesting.
Yeah.
And but I'm excited. I mean, I'm sure it'll be good. It's gonna make some money. Emma Stone, another angle, another character. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. And like you said, is she gonna have a backstory? Is she gonna be more played up for laughs or more serious? What? So,
but also coming out that weekend is A Quiet Place Part 2. So looking forward to this.
Me too.
We talked about this movie a little over a year ago. It was going to come out like the weekend the pandemic like shut everything down.
Yep.
Basically. And so they're like, well, we'll push it a month.
We'll push it back 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll push it back 2 weeks.
Push it back 2 weeks.
And then we waited and then it was like 2 hours later, like, well, maybe a month.
Yep.
3 hours later, we don't know.
Yeah.
It'll
come out sometime.
But it's finally coming out. I am not a big fan of thrillers, but this one has a sci-fi element. Are these guys monsters? Are they aliens? I don't know. Who cares? It's a cool element. Great acting, great directing. I'm so looking forward to the second part.
Am I. It's gonna be great. I remember watching the first one thinking, John Krasinski is doing a scary movie.
Yeah.
And you can't make noise. Like that's kind of when I first heard that, I was like, that's kind of cliche almost, you know? And then I watched it and I was blown away on how good it was. And I'm really hoping that happens again. And I think it will.
Yep. But finally, also coming out that same weekend is a movie called Blue Miracle. This one's coming out on Netflix. This one stars Dennis Quaid. Based on a true story where a Mexican orphanage sustained a lot of damage during a hurricane, and they need to find some way to raise money. So they enter this like big fishing tournament with the help of Dennis Quaid. And we'll have to see how they fared. But with that is all that is coming out in the month of May. So now it's time to make our first picks of the summer.
Let's go.
This is what's going to set the tone. I actually remembered the quarter this time.
Perfect.
That was a huge problem when we used to do this, is I would always forget a quarter. No one on set had one.
Nope.
We had to come up with some creative ways, but I have one now this time. So let's see.
Who's calling it?
You can call it, because I got to focus on flipping this and not hitting the mic or myself or anything. So call it in the air.
Heads.
It is tails. Boom.
All right, make your pick.
All right.
You're on the clock.
On the clock. Oh, God. So I have my first pick, and I have my alternate pick just in case you took it. But I'm looking at my alternate pick, and I'm like, do I want to start this off with an upset? And I'm like, maybe I do. But then I'm like, I'm not going to be dumb, so I'm going to pick my first pick. It's A Quiet Place Part 2. This one, and the look in your eyes is exactly why I did not want to give you the chance, because I figured there was a good chance you were going to pick this as well. So I decided the satisfaction of not letting you pick it was way better than any satisfaction from an upset pick.
Okay.
Ever since the Oscar special, I only feed off your pain. So
we were close. We were close.
We're friends. We are friends. The first one was such a huge box office pick, winner, and I don't see why it wouldn't carry over to this one, even with limited seating. I think people have been looking forward to this one for so long. Yep. As far as I know, it has no streaming side-by-side release, so your only option is the theater. I think people are going to come out to this one. I think people are going to wait all month. They're going to see, they're going to skip all these other ones of the month. They're going to wait at the end of the month. 4 weeks from now, things will probably have died down a little bit more.
Yep.
I think that's where it's going to hit. So that is my pick. Ryan, what do you got?
I'm going to go with Cruella because I think the star power of Emma Stone. Did I say Emma Stone?
Emma Stone.
Emma Stone. I think like you said, 4 weeks now. Who really knows what's going to be going on with the pandemic? But hopefully things just are on the up track and things are getting better and more theaters are opening. But I think that's going to be a big family movie around that time. What else around that time is going to be family orientated? Not much. So that's my pick. And it's a big Disney movie. Disney will draw some buzz. Yeah.
This doesn't happen often, but I love it when our picks land on the same weekend.
I do too.
This is going to be fun.
I hope I can crush you.
It's a friendly competition.
It's a friendly competition. No violence.
And
on
I will
camera.
bathe in your tears.
Nope. I don't cry.
So those are our picks. I'm going with A Quiet Place Part 2. You're saying Cruella. We'll just have to wait and see. That's the worst part, is that's the last weekend, too. So we're going to have to wait till the very end to figure out who won. But with that, it is time for the Marshall 6 update here in Marshall, Minnesota. They still got Godzilla vs. Kong. This was one that I really loved. And they've also got now Mortal Kombat. So a lot of action options to go with. If you want a more family-friendly option but still want the action element, they also still have Raya and the Last Dragon.
Yep.
This was a movie that I said is not Disney's best by far, but some of the fight sequences especially were some of the strongest elements of it.
Yeah.
So that is still in the theaters to check out as well. But the big news coming out of the theater is they're currently hiring. They're looking for some new staff to come help out. I could give you a whole list of reasons to go out there, but I think I only need one. You get to see the movies for free.
Yep. That's
What better reason than that?
Yeah.
But with that, it is time for number one recommends. Ryan, why don't you start us off? What do you recommend?
Ooh. All right. Got a hot one for you.
Did you just get like stung by a bee there?
Well, my back's a little tight.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
feels good. All right, ready?
All right.
My recommend, Mortal Kombat. Awesome. Awesome movie. The catchphrases work great. They don't say it a whole lot. Music's great. The action, the hand-to-hand fighting. The way they're able to make a unrealistic kill or be killed tournament, like the game, but actually make it into a movie. Now, the story behind it, it's not terrible. It's about as good as I could hope for making it into, into a storyline to follow. Also, one of the coolest things is I was recently watching The Raid. If you haven't seen The Raid, check it out. It's from 2011. One of the main actors in The Raid also is Sub-Zero. Did that sound cool in there?
That actually was sounding pretty cool.
So, yeah, he plays Sub-Zero, and I was watching with some friends this past weekend, watching The Raid, and it's like, that's Sub-Zero, and it was awesome. It's a fantastic movie, more like Mortal Kombat. Really good. Just enjoy it. Go watch it. It's fun. If you played the games, you'll recognize some of the kills, and then at the end, they play the music, and then, Mortal Kombat! It's awesome. It's sweet. It's a fun ride. Check it out.
My number one recommend this week, every once in a while, I'll just go on like Amazon Prime or something like that and like just look at whatever they suggest for me or something. I don't even know what I was watching before where it was like this was a suggestion. But I found this smaller 2018 movie, I believe is when it came out. I didn't hear anything about it then. There was not a lot of promotion. Never heard of it. But I really enjoyed it. It's called Time Freak. This has Asa Butterfield, I think I'm saying his name right, as well as, you're a fan of this person, Sophie Turner from Game of Thrones, as well as Skylar Gisondo. The name probably doesn't sound familiar. However, he was one of the sons in the new Vacation movie with Ed Helms and Christina Applegate. But those three basically take place in this movie. Basically, Asa Butterfield character is dating Sophie Turner's character, and he's best friends with Skylar's character. Asa Butterfield's character is a genius in physics, and basically he figured out time travel a while back, but he didn't really have any reason to build it.
Mm-hmm.
And one day, Sophie Turner breaks up with him, and it basically opens with him like in this conversation, and he's at this point built the time machine and has gone back now to try and fix this relation. He's trying to stop the breakup.
Okay.
He's basically like, he's nothing without her.
Yep.
He's never going to find anyone better than her.
Classic.
So he tries to fix it just with that breakup conversation. So there's right away, there's a lot of humor in this movie, first and foremost, but there's also that sci-fi element. Again, I'm a huge nerd of sci-fi. Anything time travel will just notch it up a few points for me. And so he finds that he tries so many different ways. He can't fix it during that conversation. So he's like, all right, I've gone through our entire relationship. Here are some of my biggest regrets. Here's, I think, some of our worst moments. I'm going to go back to the furthest one, and we're just going to keep fixing them until I no longer break up with this girlfriend of his. So he takes his friend with him through all these moments of their life, of these past few years. And there's some really humorous moments. I don't want to spoil it. Never mind. But there's a lot of funny moments.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of great chemistry between these three, especially.
Okay.
The only knock I have on this movie is the ending doesn't really know which tone it wants to take. For a second there, it looks like it's maybe going to take a serious route all of a sudden. Then it's like, oh, no, we're still funny. And then it's like, well, but here's something kind of depressing. And, oh, I bet you didn't see that coming. And it's like, no, we're still funny, though. We're still funny. It's like, oh, well, here kind of the character doesn't get what he will, but we're still kind of funny.
Yeah.
And so that is like the last 20 minutes, it doesn't really know which route it wants to take. But everything leading up to that, I think, is really smart, really funny, and a lot of great chemistry. But, yeah, just a random one that I found on Amazon Prime. So I thought I'd talk about it here.
Okay. Cool.
And that is going to do it for us here on this episode of Popcorn Bucket List. As usual, if you're in the Marshall area, be sure to check out the Marshall 6 Theater, a website for showtimes, as well as check out the application if you're interested in working there this summer and beyond. If you have any of your own recommendations of stuff for us to check out, leave those in the comments down on the YouTube video, as well as if you have an answer to Ryan's challenge, which I listened to so intently that I cannot stop thinking about it to this moment. Make sure you comment those here as well. For myself and Ryan Meyerberg, we'd like to thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you at the movies.